and welcome back to I Eat, I Read, I Watch. Today's is the 45th of these columns, highlighting a solo dinner and my reading and watching accomplishments. Don't just eat alone, dine solo. You're worth it, and it's not hard to do. So, what am I eating this time? Huevos enfriolados, or eggs and spicy black beans. I'm slaughtering that Spanish, I know. New York Times subscriptions get more expensive the second year, surprise, but by then you're addicted to the spelling bee, more on this another time, and the recipes, so there's no going back. These are recipes that often include ingredients already in my fridge and cupboard, and I'm on a black bean kick these days, and of course the egg kick I'm on is lifelong. So here I was, combining the two. I started by sautéing half a diced cooking onion and 2 sliced garlic cloves in a little olive oil. After about 5 minutes, I added a can of drained and rinsed black beans, a good-sized dollop of diced chipotle peppers from a jar in the fridge, and half a cup of vegetable stock. The recipe asks for adobo sauce too, but I didn't have that. I got that boiling and then simmered it for 5 minutes. Once the liquid had mostly reduced, I turned it off and squashed it with a potato masher. Then the eggs. I turned the heat back on and broke 2 eggs into wells made from the mashed mix. My regret is there really wasn't enough liquid for a proper poach, so I put a lid on for a minute and then off again and finally plated it. Too soon, if I'm honest. The egg white was a little too soft even for me. But with the sliced radish, crumbled feta, and a little more diced onion, a side of few tortilla chips, it was a pretty damn good meal. And I ate way too much of it, 3/4 of the can, if I'm honest again. But the leftovers will be excellent in burritos I plan to make tomorrow. Prep time, about 30 minutes. Origin, well, the cheese, the eggs, and the beans were all Canadian. The cost, maybe $5 in total. It's like $1.79 for beans, $1.25 for 2 eggs, and pennies for each of the other ingredients. Worth every dime. If you've got a black bean recipe you'd like to share, please add it to the comments in my blog. So what am I reading? Well, Drunk Mum. Jowita Bydlowska is a Polish-born Canadian writer and journalist who, in 2013, let it all hang out in this, her first memoir, Drunk Mum. She discloses how she hid her alcohol addiction in the first year of her son's life. What she shared is brutal, I'm not going to lie. If there's anything she didn't disclose, I wouldn't be up to reading about it. As a non-mother and a non-addict, it was all pretty foreign to me. It gave me a little glimpse, though, at how addiction takes hold, reminding me, in fact, of the relationship my late husband had with cigarettes, always thinking about where and how to get the next one. The book ends with her in recovery. I know, however, from hearing her talk about her second memoir, Unshaming, that recovery is not a linear path. I await that one from the library. You may remember I wrote about these books a little earlier in my post about my own addiction to routine, and you can find that on my blog. If you've got a memoir you've recently read, please share it in the comments on my blog. Finally, I'm watching Scott and Bailey. This is another of those great British female-led cop shows. Janet Scott is the sensible cop in her 40s, Rachel Bailey, her younger best pal / protege, and Jill Murray, a.k.a. Godzilla, is their tough boss. Set in the Manchester Metropolitan Police Force Major Incident Team, they're investigating murders which are always twisty-turny plots, but it's the interpersonal stuff among them that keeps me coming back. I know I watched some of this with Jack a decade ago, but good thing for them, I have a very short memory for such things. Watching it again is a treat. Bonus, it's written by Sally Wainwright, the woman who brought us Riot Women earlier this year. If you're rewatching something, please tell us about it in the comments on my blog, and thank you for watching.